like the background.
It should be all you see when it first goes live.
Oh, just switched 6 days ago.
If it's not coming up, I did something wrong.
It's I'm not even. Oh, we're live now. Oh, oh, oh! It is the logo currently.
Cool.
Oh, this is a fever dream. Man, I spent a semester in graphic design, and look where it got me. I made it. I made it.
So for anybody that is viewing us right as we go live, which I doubt is anybody, or if you're looking at this on the YouTube playback, this is the current design we have going for our intro title card, so to speak. This is art done by our very own Beck.
I wouldn't call it art.
I would.
It's an image.
I would call it a masterpiece.
It's my Mona Lisa.
But yeah, so, and honestly, I'm debating whether or not I'm even going to have the video footage from this episode up, or if I'm just going to leave that image up the entire time when I upload it. But, yeah, I'll just go ahead and fade that out. And what's going on? It's us. We're back. We're the Cowboy Moth Podcast.
It feels so good. I finally feel like I have an identity.
We are back, and we are doing Cowboy Month. We're continuing Cowboy Month. We kind of started it last week, and now we are into the classic spaghetti western Fistful of Dollars, starring Clint Eastwood. But before we get started on that, we decided to do a shot.
What the fuck? I don't want to spill it, you asshole.
All right,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Save the turtles. Reusable. Now back to the foot.
You're wearing it?
What do you mean?
Is that the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville?
It's the Margaritaville Crocs, bitch.
Bro. That's amazing.
That's my prized possession. It's got a bottle opener on the 4-wheel drive strap.
How did I not know you had those?
Got them in last week.
Oh, did you really?
I the last stream we did, I forgot I wanted to do a shot out of them. I was like, damn. And I've been sitting on that now. I was like, I gotta pop its cherry. They're like, I've not done it yet. It was great.
Wow. I know. I follow a guy on Instagram. His name is Meth Syndicate. I bought a few shirts from him, and he bought 2 pairs of those like the day they dropped.
Oh, yeah. Emma texted me because my parents are like huge Jimmy Buffett fans, and she was like, "Have you seen these Crocs?" And I was like, "No," and I bought them immediately.
I thought they were sold out.
Oh, I was on that shit. Like, she was on it, and then I was like, well, let me step outside real quick and buy these while I'm at work. Best decision.
Yeah.
It's like the Swiss Army knife of Crocs. But only if you need to take a shot or open the bottle. What's the... Not to be that guy, but what's the dog doing in the background?
Making her bed.
But yeah.
Oh.
Evan, you alright?
Yeah, I'm just adjusting my gain and my settings a little bit because I was a little loud on the last one. Especially when I was going like this.
I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but eating your fruit snacks in the mic is not ASMR.
You are now listening to the soulful sounds of little Pepperonio. Oh, yeah.
Just go ahead and mute.
So we watched A Fistful of Dollars, you know? Somebody looked in here and was like, I'm not. I'm not about this. Immediately left.
Yes, all right, sorry. Fistful of Dollars. Yes, we have started the Man with No Name trilogy.
The Moth with No Name.
The Moth with No Name.
All right, that's your next piece of art.
Oh, I already have it. I'm way ahead of you. I'm working on it, Sam. I have action shots of the moth in my little book right now.
Dude, this is amazing. The Moth with No Name trilogy. It is about a man who I can only guess his name right now is Gringo Joe. Based off of the information. I thought it was Big Dick Killer.
People changed it up. During Lent, it was Gringo Joe. And Lunar.
So, it is about a man. So, right off the bat, I couldn't help but notice as the movie started going that this is literally a portion of the story from Red Dead Redemption 2. Because there's a part, the whole plot of the movie and the plot of this portion of the game is that in the movie it's one guy, in the game it's a gang, but blow into town, start to understand that there's like a rivalry between two families, and then end up instigating shit. Yeah, and instigate shit, and then basically start a war.
And the
yeah, the Braithwaites and the yep.
Yeah.
So this is one of the best. This felt as I was watching, I was like, this is definitely the inspiration for that portion of the game because that is basically the plot of this movie. Although I'm not gonna lie. I fell asleep for like 10 minutes during one of the slower parts, and I woke up.
Yeah.
And I was a little lost, but I was able to kind of piece it together, especially with the help of Sam. I was literally that guy where I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, I zoned out hard in the middle, but like got back in like end. Like, I was there for the beginning, middle, bit of a wash. Ending portion, I was there for it.
Also, Beck, have you seen any of these movies?
I've not seen any. I'm not. Okay. I'm not a huge Western guy.
The only one I've seen is the next one coming up, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Well, that's the third one.
Is it the third one?
And isn't that what rounds out the trilogy?
No, I think it's Fistful of Dollars,
I thought
The Good,
it was
the Bad, and the Ugly, and then a few dollars more.
Is it? I thought it was the other way.
Google right here.
Pull it up, Jamie. Come on.
Sam's already clicking. Fuck.
Oh no, Beck's right.
Damn.
It is Fistful of Dollars. $2 more, and then Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Why would they put a break of dollars in the name between the first and the third?
I don't know.
Sense.
But if you guys thought this one was slow, just wait till we get to fucking Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
So are they all like
I love
tied
that
together
movie.
at least a little bit, or is it just like same character, new thing?
It's
the adventures of.
I didn't recognize any of the characters in this one, so it's basically just the man with no name.
I see.
Well, who knows? Maybe there will be something that's established in a few dollars more that'll carry over.
Yeah.
I don't know like a whole lot about this trilogy other than that. Yeah, it's Sergio Leone or Leone, however you say his last name.
Or Lamy.
Spaghetti Western. And that it's considered one of the greatest trilogies of all time. And my roommate back in the day, Zave, he told me he had watched it like the day before, and he's like, dude, that trilogy is the greatest trilogy I've ever seen.
See, my friend did that shit. He went away on like vacation, saw one of them, and just got hooked and was on this like bender of Clint Eastwood. He just became obsessed.
See, I'm hoping that watching these will make me want to watch more.
I'm kind of there.
I'm not yet.
I have what I think is a good metaphor for these like movies, just specifically Clint Eastwood. I still don't like John Wayne because that's all my dad watched growing up. Stuff like that I can't. But like with this, it was like there was something different, and it just kind of worked for me in the way that like Hateful Eight or Django did, or the like Magnificent Seven. There's something a little different.
There's a cowboy movie I do want us to watch, and I was trying to figure out how we could use it as a transition film. So I'm thinking what we might do for next month. I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself talking about next month already, but I think next month, to also kind of tie in with the fact Evil Dead's coming out, and it's going to be a more brutal podcast when we talk about that one. It's a brutal movie. Next month we would do Cannibals.
Cannibal Holocaust.
And yeah, one of them would definitely be Cannibal Holocaust. But the first one starting out would be Bone Tomahawk.
Oh, yeah.
Sam, I don't think you've seen that movie.
I haven't seen either of them.
You said what?
I have not seen either movie, the Bone Tomahawk or Cannibal Holocaust.
Well, I figured you hadn't seen Cannibal Holocaust, but I was pretty sure you hadn't seen Bone Tomahawk. That might be my favorite Western of all time.
I watched it at like 1 a.m.
That movie is fucking intense and awesome.
Oh,
and
it
has a really great. I mean, it's in the Wild West, and it's just got great cowboy action. Not necessarily. Well, there's a little bit of cowboy on cowboy, but
I mean, it's no Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger, but
but yeah, it's a really cool movie. But that it's like I'm more. I don't know. I'm kind of desensitized to these kinds of Westerns at this point because I've seen so much more brutal shit like Django, Hateful Eight, Bone Tomahawk. What was it? Is the Ty West Western with Ethan Hawke.
Oh, it wasn't Magnificent.
A Valley of Violence.
Why has he been in like multiple Western? I feel like it's weird if somebody does multiple Western movies at this point. Like one and done.
I just like the more brutal shit, and like I still appreciated this movie. I really liked the final duel, and anytime he like was really when he busted into that house and unloaded on him, like I liked all that, but I don't know. I guess I like a little more blood in my Westerns. That's why I'm such a hater of the third Back to the Future.
Dude, I had a holy shit moment when I watched this, and I was like, so it's when he's in the cave and he's just kind of like sawing on that metal, and at first I'm like, oh, he's doing a sawed off, and I was waiting for like a Bruce Campbell moment, and then they just never acknowledge it, and he gets shot the first time, and I'm like, holy fuck, I was like, it's Marty McFly. I was like, this is exactly where he got the idea. I'm like, and then it all just came together. I'm like, the reveal was ruined for me. I was like,
nah, bro. When I was watching it, all I could think was he built a fucking suit of iron armor in a cave. He's Iron Man. So when he was getting shot,
did this in a cave.
I was like, watch the fucking Black Sabbath Iron Man starts playing as he gets up after getting shot the first time.
I need that in my life.
Yeah, I think I'd probably say my favorite Western would probably be Unforgiven.
Is that the one with Morgan Freeman?
Yep, it's another.
Yeah, that's the one I've seen.
It's with Morgan Freeman.
Well, oh shit! Wasn't 3:10 to Yuma? Wasn't that the other one with Ethan Hawke?
I'm not sure.
My favorite Western's probably the Ridiculous Six. It's a pretty
Oh, you know what?
different.
I take that back.
Got some
My
spice.
favorite Western is not Bone Tomahawk. My favorite Western is the True Grit remake
Oh,
from
I
the Coen
love that
brothers.
movie. Yeah.
That movie is so fucking good.
I wasn't allowed to watch that movie.
Yeah, I was
Ever.
deciding between Unforgiven and True Grit, but I think
That remake was blasphemy in my house because the original one had John Wayne in it, and the fact that they ever had to redo a movie with him was just fucking like heresy. It was not allowed to be mentioned.
Oh man,
It was
I
a
saw the trailer.
scary time.
I saw the trailer. I don't remember what Johnny Cash song they used, but they used the Johnny Cash song in the trailer, and I saw it, and I was like, whoa. I have to see this movie. And I convinced my mom to take me. And afterwards, I was like, holy shit, that is one of the best movies I've ever seen. And I had never seen a Western before. So that was also like my first Western. So that one, yeah, that might be actually my favorite. But I'm hoping to really enjoy the next couple of the Man with No Name movies.
so. I looked
now
it
we've
up.
got a little more time with him. Maybe we'll be a little more invested in him going forward, you know?
Yeah, but I looked it up. So this movie's runtime is an hour and 39 minutes, right?
Yeah,
I know the Good, the Bad, and the
101
Ugly
minutes
is like
with credits on Amazon.
the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Isn't it like 3 hours?
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
It's 2 hours
That's
and
why-
58 minutes.
What the fuck? Why? What are they gonna
dude,
show me for that long? I'm not gonna be invested. That needs to be a 2-part episode to fill out the month. I ain't gonna, I tell you, I ain't gonna be like there at all.
No, I love that
thought-
movie.
I thought this movie was going to be the same length, and then I looked it up because I slept in pretty late today, and then I looked and I was like, oh shit, it's only an hour and a half.
And
That's why I was like, hey, you want to watch you want to watch A Fistful of Dollars real quick? And you're like, aren't we going to trivia? And I was like, well, we got time. And then I realized, no, we didn't.
Yeah, it was already like 6:50.
Yeah. So.
Damn. Yeah, your time management ain't there.
Nah, dude, I'm a mess.
I love you like a brother, but damn. Damn,
Dude,
Devin.
I had a date last night,
Ooh.
and it was for 6:00, and I didn't get out of bed until 4:30, and I had to fucking scramble to get ready.
Yesterday? Yeah. What was I doing at 4:00?
It's all a blur.
I did nothing. I drew Moth Cowboy all fucking day. It was just like one thing after another. I'm like, oh, this would be funny. This is my day off. Yeah, I don't know.
See, that's my thing, is when it's my day off, I
Shit.
I don't want to get out of bed. I love, if I could just live in my bed and do everything from my bed, like a fucking person in WALL-E. If I could kayak while still in my bed, bro.
Well, those things, I'm sure those things like hovered above water.
Hey, don't let your dreams be dreams, okay? We're gonna take your bed.
Dude, I didn't tell you, but I was trying to convince May last night while we were talking. She said she hates any kind of open water or anything, and I'm like, so that means the chances of getting you out on a lake are pretty slim, right? And she's like, I said I hate boats. I'm like, but it's a kayak. She's like, a kayak is a boat. I'm like, a boat is a car. A kayak is a bike. And then she told me she never learned how to ride a bike. So and then she was like, and it's still on fucking water. So
Water's more forgiving than asphalt, in my opinion.
tried.
Yeah. Unless they're scary Lovecraftian monsters under the water.
Don't. Sam, I have issues as is. I don't like to think about that kind of shit. I psych myself out when I'm kayaking if it's like the Ohio. Well, first off, it's the Ohio. There's mutant shit in there already. Like, I know that for a fact.
Unless you're in East Palestine and then there's nothing in the water.
But if there's something.
Until they mutate because of like,
the fucking vinyl chloride turns them into fucking sea monkeys.
Sea monkeys with tentacles.
Fucking Christ. I want to
Anytime
be in Chicago. I want to be a fish in like the Chicago River right now. The green.
Dude, I caught a fish when I was like 10. I went fishing with my stepdad, and we were at like one of the Great Lakes, and I caught a fish. He had been fishing for a long time. He could pretty much ID most fish. I pulled a fish out of the lake that he looked at it and was like, "What the fuck is that?" And then I was like, I don't know. I just caught it. I don't know. What is it? He's like, "Holy shit, somebody call a scientist." He was straight up like trying to like get a hold of somebody.
Oh, we should pictures, dude. That'd be great.
Yeah,
That's when you need like a Polaroid and shit. Like, yeah.
Damn.
Nah, it would've
How
been
old
one
do you
of those
think Devin
disposable-
is?
I had a Polaroid as a kid.
I did not.
There's a
I had
phone.
those ones. I had those ones with the dial where you take a picture and then you had to go and then
Wait.
take another picture, like in
The
Shaun of the Dead.
disposables?
Yeah, that was like mainly what I had growing up. And then my dad had like a nice digital camera.
Devin, question without revealing: are your parents in their 40s or 50s?
My mom just turned 50.
Okay, so my dad's about to hit 60. My parents were like they had old shit from when they were like, yeah, I had
See,
that
my
old ass Polaroid camera and
My
stuff.
stepdad, he was so about like the newest and greatest digital camera. Like he's like, "Oh my god, this one's got 10 megapixels." And then he'd go and get it, and then he'd be like out trying to take professional pictures and shit. And then he'd just be like setting up a tripod and like taking pictures of stuff. And then all of a sudden, the 11 megapixel digital camera would come out. He's like, "I gotta get that one." So he was always like upgrading his digital cameras.
Yeah, the concept of an aux cord didn't exist, and when I found out about it, it blew my mind. There was no way that you could ever play music in your car that was on your iPod or phone. And then we found a cassette thing that did it, and it blew my fucking mind.
No, my parents are already in their 60s.
Yeah, see, I don't. Some people got these young ass parents, and let me tell you.
Okay, so I have a question then for both of you guys. What do your I mean I get a little bit of a sense from you, Beck, that your parents love westerns. I don't
My
know about
dad
your
does.
parents.
My
Sam.
dad likes fucking westerns.
But okay, what does your dad think of the Clint Eastwood Man with No Name trilogy? Do you know
which one?
the whole trilogy?
Wait, me or Sam? So me. Dude, John Wayne.
So he does not fuck with the
The King
Clint
Baby,
Eastwood.
John Wayne. There's no other person in this world that did Western. Except for kind of Andy Griffith. I
Okay,
don't know.
cowboy.
I would ask him, he's like, I wasn't much of an Eastwood guy. He's like, you know what I did like? He's like, that John Wayne. He's like, he did some good stuff. And then he'll turn one on.
My favorite Clint Eastwood project would have to be the one where he sat on stage and yelled at a chair and pretended it was Obama.
would
watching
buy
an old
tickets.
man, watching an old man sit on stage alone and yell at a chair like he's a nursing home patient in the middle of a dementia
I don't think you have
episode.
to go to a
was-
fucking, like, theater to see that.
It was funny as fuck. He's like, "I can't believe you, Obama." And he's just yelling at a basic chair.
Oh, that chair was jaywalking. I got Jaeger on my crock. No, Kraken. It's not even Jaeger. Ooh.
I was gonna say Jaeger would suck.
Well,
Get all sticky.
I like Jaeger.
I used to.
Licorice, man. About that.
So Sam, do you know what your parents are your parents into westerns? Do you know?
Yes, they are. But my dad's favorite movie is Gladiator.
Yeah, that checks out.
Okay.
But yeah,
I didn't-
I grew up watching like the Clint Eastwood stuff.
Okay. So your dad is the reason you've seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you should tell him we're doing this month.
Get your dad on.
What, have
Be a
seen
guest.
you vape? No.
Does your dad know you podcast?
No.
Does your dad know?
Why are you living two lives, Sam?
It's just what I
You're
do.
living
You know?
you're living a podcaster life and a non-podcaster
Maybe I
life.
live
Which
more
one's
than two
Peter
lives.
Parker and which one's Spider-Man, Sam? Which one are we getting? I pray to God it's Spider-Man.
I'm Peter Parker,
We're getting
Spider-Man, and
Spider-Man.
Venom.
We're getting Spider-Man. His parents get Peter Parker, and the rest of the world gets Venom.
It checks out.
So my favorite part of this movie has got to be after they are done beating the shit out of Gringo Joe, and he's laying there bloodied, and they like leave, and then they come back to like wake him up or whatever, and he Donkey Kongs those two dudes with a giant barrel, and the way the barrel hits them and just fucking explodes.
Yeah, the effects from the 64. For that.
Dude, that shit looked really good.
Yeah.
That was not safe for anybody in that area.
No.
That was them not using blanks and just firing, and like he's actually hitting the metal. Was it? Oh, the cast. I can't remember the great, like the Undertaker, the tombstone maker dude's name, like Pepito or some shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I loved him. I loved his dialogue every second of it. I really did.
Also, he was the guy who called Clint Eastwood's character Joe.
Joe, yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed. Well, I had a spoiler a little bit. I paused the movie and it had like the actors, and I think it was just those two because it was an early scene, and it just said Joe. I'm like, huh. I was like, that would have sucked if it was like Kill Bill, right? And you're like, oh, the whole build up to the name, you're like, oh, just Joe.
I mean, I don't think that's his actual name. I think he's just
but there's a name up now, and it's like, I just wish it was gonna say like no name.
No, there's no way his name is Joe.
His name's totally Joe.
It's probably John.
I bet they call him
Wayne.
Joseph at the end.
His name's probably John Wayne.
Like Marty.
The man with no name.
But he has a name.
John Wayne. Played by Clint Eastwood.
Oh, what was that?
And inside of Clint Eastwood is actually Kirk Lazarus from Tropic Thunder.
Piri Pero was his name.
He's like, I'm a dude disguised as Clint Eastwood playing John Wayne.
Levi's, you know?
Huh?
That was like John Wayne's whole thing. His shtick was Levi's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anytime I think of John Wayne, all I can think of is Kurt Russell's impression of him in Death Proof.
I don't remember.
When he does that bit where he's like, well, you know how people say, well, you're all right in my book. Like, I feel like he's straight up doing a John Wayne impression there. Where he's like, you're going in the book. Well, I have a book. And I'm filing you under chicken. I love that moment. But it's when he does that in my book, it's that John Wayne shit. Okay, cowboy.
Nobody else suffer from like sleep paralysis, and you're never quite sure when it's like kicking in and out because.
I'm also not gonna lie, I've never seen a John Wayne movie, so I don't.
I would clock out every time it was a John Wayne movie. It's all just horses. There was one where I remember a child getting trampled. I do remember that.
I take that back. I have seen the first 10 minutes of one John Wayne movie. It was when I was getting ready to go see True Grit. They were showing the original on TV, and I started watching it. Mind you, this is 2010. I was like a sophomore in high school, and I got so fucking bored after the first 10 minutes. I was like, nah. And it made me question if I even wanted to see the new one. But then I went and saw it, and I was like, whoa, now this is fucking awesome.
It's John Wayne.
But I could not get into the original True Grit.
No.
What?
I didn't like it either, but I wasn't. You're not allowed to say that in the house.
Oh. Well, if you say you don't like a John Wayne movie, just whisper it into the mic. I don't like John Wayne movies.
I've never seen a John Wayne movie.
Mm-mm. Anyway,
I see dead people.
I see John Wayne too.
Dude, speaking of John Wayne, I fucking hate that dude.
Yeah, that's it.
But there's that video of it was when Marlon Brando won the Oscar for Best Actor for The Godfather. And instead of accepting the award himself, he sent up this Native American woman to speak on injustices that were happening against her and her people. And so Marlon Brando gave her this platform to speak in front of the nation at the Oscars. And as she's going up there and speaking on this and accepting the award on his behalf, fucking John Wayne is in the fucking audience, like, pissed, trying to get up on the stage to beat this woman's ass. And he's like,
Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish, but hold on real quick.
you are so out of line and so disrespectful, and just like fucking screaming at her. And she's like just trying to talk to the audience for a minute. And after I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I really ever need to watch a John Wayne movie. Dude's kind of a piece of shit.
I mean,
And
he
honestly,
spends most of them fighting natives, so.
And honestly, Clint Eastwood is not much better, but
Hey, well, listen, we don't talk about Dad like that.
the only reason we're doing these movies is because they are so iconic, and these
I
are the
love,
kinds
like,
of
every
movies.
Clint Eastwood movie.
These are the kinds of movies that inspired like Tarantino and shit.
And
Yeah,
as
there
you
weren't as
mentioned,
many
Red
like
Dead
women
2.
flying through the room because of a bullet, though.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
fell a little bit better.
Well, I know that I think can you look up who did the soundtrack for this, because I'm pretty sure it's Inigo.
Inigo Montoya?
No, I'm trying to remember what his name is.
You got my father.
He's an Italian composer.
Mario
Jeez.
Mario Linguini. Yeah, I don't know.
Ennio Morricone.
Yeah. Okay,
Thanks.
so that
Thanks,
guy.
Sam.
He does the entire trilogy. He also did the score for Hateful Eight.
Ooh. There was like a video of this guy. He's Italian. I think he used to work on spaghetti westerns and do like a bunch of the like special effects and stuff, or noises, just sound effects, just from his mouth. And there's like a video of him playing the guitar and doing it, like whistling the entire time. And if I'm gonna send it to you if you haven't seen it, but it's so fucking cool. But like somebody goes on and like talks about who he is, but he used to do like a lot of the like scores and stuff from movies or
I just
westerns.
remember there's another Western. I think it actually does have John Wayne in it, and I want to see it. It's called Rio Bravo. It's like it's him, Dean Martin, and Ricky Nelson. And I'm a big fan of Dean Martin and Ricky Nelson's music, and it's from what I've seen from the movie, there's a lot of singing in the movie. So it looks like kind of an interesting, like, musical-ish Western that I've been meaning to watch for a while. There's a song from it called My Rifle, My Pony, and Me that I really like.
Did I put this in the... Oof. No, sorry. I had to check something. But... I mean, have you seen any like the newer Eastwood stuff? Mule, Gran Torino.
I've seen Gran Torino.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have not seen American Sniper. I'm pretty sure that was
Where was he?
Eastwood, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he directed that, didn't he?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. He's more of a director now.
Yeah.
So when you say his newer stuff, I'm thinking more as directorial stuff. So like American Sniper.
Yeah, he
I think
did that
The
shit.
Mule.
Fury? He did Fury?
No, not Fury.
David Ayer.
David Ayer did Fury.
Yes.
He also did fucking Suicide Squad. That's so
The
crazy
OG
to
one?
me. I did not know that. That man made one of my favorite war movies of all time and my least favorite superhero movie of all time.
Okay, El Diablo was pretty badass in that movie, if I can, just like for a second.
Who?
El Diablo, he was the Hispanic dude.
Oh, the fire guy.
I liked him, and then he died.
Yeah, you know who my favorite guy was? The guy with the grappling hooks.
Oh, Slipknot?
Yeah, the dude who died like 10 minutes into the fucking
He was literally
movie.
yeah.
Which, I know I kind of talk shit on that moment a lot, and then James Gunn did like the same thing, but with like...
That was a big middle finger.
But it was like everybody they had introduced so far, and so it worked a lot better in his iteration.
Yeah,
but yeah. Cry
Macho was one of like his newer like acting roles.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I want to see $1 Million Baby.
I
still have
Hillary
yet to see
Swank?
that movie.
That's a good
But
one.
I know how it ends, so I'm not in any
Same.
rush to go see it.
Manushka. Is it Manushka?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They reference that in The Office too.
That's why is it my little babushka? Like
They also reference it in they reference it in Always Sunny.
They also reference it in JoJo's. I'm assuming.
What?
Doesn't JoJo's reference everything?
Fuck yeah, it does.
Is that an anime?
Yes, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lost me.
Oh, it lost me too. Don't worry. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
I couldn't start. I don't like the art style. But...
Doesn't get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It progressively gets more awkward, for sure. Yeah.
It's also where the I don't know if you know this meme, but oh, you're approaching me. It's also where that meme came from.
Is that the dude walking down the sidewalk?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Basically, he says, "So, oh, you're approaching me." He's like, the guy responds, "I have to get closer to beat your ass."
So, Beck,
That was good.
I wanted to ask because I know I'm almost positive Sam is having the same trouble I was having while watching the movie, and that was understanding what people were fucking saying.
Subtitles, baby.
We couldn't get them to work.
We watched it on AMC. AMC's fucking ass.
I have the AMC thing, but it's through Amazon, so I was able to get it on there way better.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, like I turned the subtitles on probably like 10 minutes into the movie.
Oh, that was actually like, it's when he was on the balcony, I was like, what are they fucking saying? And I turned it on.
And then nothing popped up. I turned to Devin, I'm like, the subtitles are on.
Dude, I thought I was having a stroke when I turned them on because the first line that he fucking says is like Spanish, so it spelled it out in Spanish, and I thought I was having a stroke trying to read the subtitle. I was so fucking confused.
Oh, man. But yeah, I think I talked with Devin a little bit about this. I'm pretty sure most of the lines are voiceover.
Oh, 100%. You can see the way their mouths are moving, and then the way that the sound even just kind of, it's so much louder.
It seems closer to you, I guess.
Well, it reminded me of
at all.
Yeah.
It reminded me of a sloppier version of Suspiria.
Yeah, it's the same idea. I mean,
Where
they
I think
literally even talk about it in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, don't they? Like that whole like genre and like what they did. for a little
I
bit.
think so.
Because that's
I
why he
can't
went to
remember.
Italy to film when he was like at the end of his
Yeah.
career.
Yeah, so I mean, and that was my thing is like when we start watching it, I was thinking I don't think it's a problem. Like I don't think we're having issues. I think that's just how it is. But I wasn't sure, so I had him pause it. And, like asked him like, "Is this how the good, the bad, and the ugly is?" He's like, "Yeah." So I was like, "All right."
What did you think about like the opening credits for the movie? Like that whole
I
little
loved 'em.
sequence. I thought that was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the same thing in Good, the Bad, and the Ugly too. So they probably have it in
Yeah.
A Few Dollars More also.
Good. It was weird. Almost reminded me like a rotoscope kind of thing.
But I do think the
It's
soundtrack
very
from
far off.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is probably my favorite.
I feel like I've already heard it and I just don't realize it.
You probably have.
Oh,
I
you
would
definitely
say
have.
I guarantee you have, but there were like hints of it in this one almost. That it's like
Mhm.
there was something there like I wanted to
it's the
pick
same
up
composer.
on.
So
But
like,
yeah. Truly a good time.
So I just wanted to remind anybody who is now watching, who joined late, you are watching the Cowboy Moth podcast. Again, we have the lovely art by our very own Beck up on the screen at the moment. That is the Cowboy
me.
Moth. And this is the Cowboy Moth podcast. Don't ask us why it's called that. I don't really want to fucking talk about it. And now back to the show.
Oh, where's the lamb? I was chuckling at that at work today. I was walking around the corner thinking about it. And I'm like,
Dude, I was doing that at work the day afterwards. I started thinking about it, and I was like audibly laughing at the cut table.
like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's literally just laughing to himself. Like he's fucking plotting.
Bro. That shit was hilarious.
So, I want to say this now, I guess, before I forget. There's like 3 main sections of this movie, and I know it's going to sound dumb, but I feel like it only ever happens in. There's only like 3 different places that we see in this fucking movie. And so much happened, but so little at the same time.
Yeah, well, dude, like, I was kind of annoyed at how little that whole scenario that went down at the river had to play into the overall plot of the movie. Like, when all those guys get gunned down, like, yeah, I guess Ramon
Oh, yeah.
and his brothers were kind of worried about an investigation or whatever, but that gold never showed up. There was never any battle over it. It was just kind of like an idea. And then at the very end of the movie, they're like, well, looks like somebody's going to be coming to get their gold back. It's like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I kind of forgot about it because we haven't talked about it in fucking an hour of the movie.
Yeah, like, it was good. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. But it all just kind of meshes together. Ugh. Don't let me talk.
Dude, I got like nothing else to say on this movie.
No.
I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean,
It's
honestly,
I'm glad the
Clint
other ones are
Eastwood's-
longer.
Clint Eastwood's character is like, yeah, I mean, it's
Badass.
cool. It's cool. Yeah, he's badass and he doesn't say a whole lot, but at the same time, it's like, if he doesn't say anything, and you don't know anything about him, why the fuck do you care about him? Like, I have no investment in his character, anything that
He's
happens.
the hero.
And so that made like if they had actually made us like invested in him, then that final battle, as awesome as it was, would have been so much cooler if there was any kind of emotional attachment to any of these characters. Is that funny to you, Beck?
what, Beck?
No, I'm reading. So like, I wrote down my thoughts from like the.
Are you
ending
laughing
of the
at
movie,
me?
And I'm laughing at like what I fucking wrote down. I mean, I'm always laughing. But
What did you write?
Yeah. So when they're torturing the old guy, just fucking hanging up, and like the explosions start going off, and he just kind of sees the boots moving through the dust. I was like genuinely hyped during that part. So
Dude,
I don't know why.
I was waiting for the 7 from the boys to come out of the smoke. Fucking Homelander starts lasering dudes.
Girls do get it done.
No, dude, speaking of explosions, though, there was that scene where they, like, fucking... It was, like, a drawn-out, like, 30-second moment where they lit this fuse, and the fuse, like, moved towards that building, and then the fucking explosion happened, and the explosion was, like, clearly out in the street, and did nothing to the building whatsoever.
Just catches it on fire.
Well, then, no, because then they threw a bunch of barrels down and hatched those open, and then they fucking... lit that on fire.
Also, all the while that's going, they're doing like hut 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 kind of shit.
No, I was doing that. They were just kind of like moving. I was doing the little green men from Toy Story. Hut 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 hut.
That's the only way you got through the movie is just thinking about Toy Story.
That's how I get through most things in life. Okay. That's my coping mechanism.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's kind of sad, but also like I don't have anything better. I don't even talk about Barbarian again.
No, I know exactly what I want to talk about. And that's
The Necronomicon Ex Mortis.
Have you seen the new Scream yet?
Is it out?
Yeah, it's been out for a week. I want to see it so fucking bad.
I'm just gonna wait till it comes to a service again.
You know what's funny though is because I really want to see it because everybody has been saying it's the second best installment in the entire franchise. Is that Natalie and Sam had never seen any of the Scream movies. So I showed them the first Scream 2 nights ago after we finished watching The Last of Us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sam,
what'd you think of Scream?
It was good. I actually really enjoyed it. Even though
good.
There are some moments, basically the characters would say something, and then it would happen.
Yeah.
Like it was funny.
That's the beauty of it.
That's the point.
Yeah, I know.
It was like the most self-aware horror movie. I'm gonna say that the Blackening is gonna be like a close second on that because it's literally the black version of Scream. It's my the black ghost face.
I still need to watch the trailer for that.
It looks so fucking good. Ah, God.
Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer. I only see a poster for it.
Oh, I saw the trailer. It looks great.
I couldn't stop laughing while watching Scream with them because I couldn't stop thinking about Scary Movie. And whenever Dewey would come on the screen, all I could think about was Officer Doofy. And it's like funny how like kind of dumb Dewey is in the first movie. It's like
yeah.
Like
they played into that
like,
really well.
He's like, hey, when I have the badge on, you have to show me some respect, sis.
Mom told you when I'm wearing the badge, you have to treat me with respect. And she also told you to stop sticking your dick in the vacuum cleaner, doofus. Dude, that movie's golden. The Wayans brothers killed it in those first two, and then they just were like, "We're good."
I will never forget the moment I saw a Scary Movie for the first time. And there's that part where I think it's Carmen Electra is running through the fucking field away from Ghostface. And first she like runs up to a table and there's like a gun, a grenade, a knife, and a banana. And she grabs the banana and then she keeps running and then he stabs her. And then he, like, pulls the knife out, and her fucking fake tit comes out on the knife. And he's like,
It's golden. Golden movie.
Yeah, Sam, we gotta watch Scary Movie now.
Yeah.
I
I'm
just
down.
watched them all like a week or so ago.
Disaster movie got you in the mood?
No, that was a while ago. No, it was just on something here.
Okay.
I just found them. I was like, oh, it's been a minute.
My favorite is definitely Scary Movie 2.
If I'm choosing like out of the two, like 1 and 2 specifically, 1. I've seen 2 so many times. I think I kind of wore it out for myself.
I love 2 so much. Like when they're in the basketball court, and it turns into like the Nike commercial. And then when the giant plant rolls up Shorty and smokes him.
Oh, it's like the Gangster Christmas, and it's like that CD, and it's listening like the songs. Oh
Yeah.
God, they give it the Fungans to put him down. They're like, here.
So yeah, I definitely like the second one more, but they're both great. It's after those 2 that it's just like kind of like ugh. But Scream never really lost its punch. Like Scream's been good. I've liked all of them. I even liked 4.
Yeah, it's
I know.
true.
I think that's like everybody's least favorite, but I liked 4. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I enjoyed it, and apparently a lot of the stuff from 4 ties into this new one. And a lot of people are saying that this new one is amazing.
You think it's gonna be like a family member of one of the killers from 4 is like wanting to?
I honestly think it's Stu.
Yeah, I know. Like the directors have kind of like touched on it because like, is he just in jail? Because
Well, they've said that you saw that TV land on his head in the first movie, but you never actually got a confirmation that he died.
and they always come back.
And so there's a chance. I know Matthew Lillard has said that he wants to return, and they had Skeet Ulrich come back as like a ghost, like just like a hallucination, so they could do something with Matthew Lillard. But I honestly think the way they've talked in the past, I think it might be Stu. I'm trying so hard to avoid spoilers, but
if it's now, I need to go see it before I find out, because if it's Stu, I will shit a brick. Truly.
But yeah,
in my seat in the theater.
Well, the what's her name? Kirby, the killer from the 4th movie.
Kirby wasn't a killer. She got killed.
Oh, I thought she was one of the killers. I thought Hayden Panettiere was one of the killers.
No, she got killed by the nerdy guy. It was the one girl who abused Pete Evans, right?
It's been a while since I've seen the 4th one, but the reason I brought that up is she's back. Turns out she didn't actually die.
Thank God.
So she's like she shows up in the trailers. It turns out that and they actually alluded to it in the 5th one, that she somehow survived the events of the 4th movie and she moved away.
Do you think that Dewey might have somehow survived?
I doubt it.
I really would like them to pull that one back, because I'd be on full support. Resurrect Dewey, make him the Messiah.
Well, we also didn't see him die.
Oh, we saw him get wheeled out in a body bag and, like, to be fair, gutted in the most literal sense. And it was really dumb. He's like, I'm not getting stabbed again. And then he's like, then he violated the rule of like, don't be a hero. Like, David Arquette just wanted to be done.
Dude, David Arquette is a fucking badass.
I love him.
I don't care what anybody says. Dude, did you hear the story about, because he's a wrestler.
Ooh.
He's an amateur wrestler, but he was in the middle of a wrestling bout like 4 or 5 years ago, and the guy he was fighting picked up a folding chair and hit him with it. And that was part of the show. That was supposed to happen. What wasn't supposed to happen is for a jagged piece of the chair to cut David Arquette's neck completely.
I was going to say, is this It's Always Sunny? He's like, shit, I think there was an edge on that trash
can. No, that fucking happened to David Arquette. But David Arquette went like this, covered up the bleeding, and finished the match bleeding out. He fought for another like 2 minutes. And fucking, I don't remember if he won or not, but he did not stop fighting. He just kept going. And then after that, I was like, dude, David Arquette's fucking hardcore. Dewey might not be a badass, but David Arquette is.
He wouldn't have let that stop. He would have just like held his guts in and just pile drive Ghostface.
Yeah, dude.
That girl's always getting lit on fire. Because that's how she got done dirty in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's kind of her like thing now. She
So
should be the new Human Torch.
I'm thinking, I mean, I don't know. I would like to see it soon, but if I don't get a chance to see it and I manage to avoid spoilers, I'd be down to watch it when you come.
I'm always down.
Hold off on watching it till you're here.
Okay.
But we'll see how that goes, because I might not be able to fight.
I mean, I can hold off on it. I'll probably forget about it, to be honest.
Dude, it's so unexpected, though, because it's like Scream was kind of a cold franchise for like 10 years.
They tried to do it, like in 2012?
That was when the fourth one came out, I think it was like 2011, 2012. And then it just went kind of cold. And then last year they came out with Scream 5, and it was a big hit. I think partially because Jenna Ortega was in it.
Yeah.
But it ended up being a big hit, and now it's like everybody's talking about this new Scream. So
are they? I wonder. Are they still doing the joke at the beginning of like not Scream, but
Stab?
Are they still doing that joke?
Yeah, I believe so.
Do you think that's kind of what helps the movies? Is they get their like we're aware out of the way, and then you just get to enjoy it.
You know, there's actually a fan film that's coming out. It's a full on Stab movie. So it's like a recreation of what we've seen from Stab from the movie so far, and then the rest of the movie filled in.
It's gonna be like meta.
Yeah. No, I am excited for that. I'm also obviously super excited for Evil Dead. There's also, I found out about a movie coming out called Strays.
The one with Will Ferrell as the dog?
Yeah, dude.
Man, we've come full circle from last week.
Did I bring it up last week?
Yeah. We hit Evil Dead again. We're doing fucking great. We need to get a tally going, like how many times we mentioned it.
I'm trying. Oh, and did you watch have you seen any of The Last of Us?
No, I'm talking about it at work like I have, but
you're fronting at work with your coworkers?
Hey man, listen, I played the games.
Yeah, I mean that's what you can pretty much just like kind of pretend. I guess
I just hit the big points because I'm like I know this shit happened in the show.
Yeah, man, the finale was really fucking good. The whole season is it's a very faithful adaptation.
The one thing I'm like really excited to see is it was like the big clicker. It was like the
bloater.
The like practical suit that they used. They had like a bodybuilder wear it because it weighed so much. Very excited to see that on screen. Everybody said it looked great.
Well, and it's designed by the guy who did Vecna for Stranger Things.
Ooh.
So, yeah, it looks really good. And when he shows up,
Vecna is like a weird organic thing, so I'm sure that works really well with his.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the guy actually did all of the clickers for the show.
Yeah, I went to buy that game again because it was like dirt cheap, but I didn't think about with the show blowing up that there's like not a single copy in circulation right now for PS4.
Well, I got it on PS4 for like $5.
Oh, it's cheap, but now that the show's out, everybody's buying the game.
I got it after the show came out.
Well, you know,
it was
what?
like on sale. They were like play the hit TV show.
It was such a good show, we made it into a game.
Yeah, bro, basically. Play the game based on the show, based on the game.
The Kirk Lazarus autobiography interactive.
Either of you guys got anything you want to talk about? And then Beck, you seem done. You seem ready to go.
We started late.
Nah, I feel it. I figured we could do a shorter one this week just because it was kind of we did start this one late. And I also figured we wouldn't have a whole lot to talk about on this one, especially starting out. I think as we go, we'll have more to talk about in terms of like connecting this one to the other ones we watch and vice versa. So
I'm gonna start taking notes again.
I'm thinking I might start doing that too.
At least for the ones that I'm not like this. I guess like when we do Tarantino and stuff, it's just like I know what I'm kind of looking for and what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
With these ones, I'm like I don't really know what to say. Yeah.
Do you have any notes you didn't get to touch on?
No, it was just one paragraph about how I was like, oh, this is Back to the Future 3. Oh, I did say because I was like I'm not a huge fan of westerns, but something about Clint Eastwood, it just feels right. Like he's badass in these roles. It's like, yeah, Ezio was cool, but Altair was just better.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? You're gonna reference Assassin's Creed right now?
Because Altair was just a badass. Ezio was cool, but
Ezio was the guy from the third one, right?
he was Brotherhood 2. 3 was Connor. Revelations.
Ezio was 2?
Italian. Yeah. He was during the Italian Renaissance.
Yeah, I did like 2 way better than the first one.
Oh, what the? I'm not agreeing with that at all.
Sorry.
No. Character is way better. I think Altair is way better. But, oh my. I'm just a shut-in who lived off those games, you know? What do I know?
I played the first 2, and then I was super excited for the third one based on where the second one ended. And all of a sudden they're like, play Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, play Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Those are the ones that tie into 2.
And then
3 was a completely different game. Brotherhood and Revelations were the sequel.
Yeah, I'm aware of that now. That pissed me the fuck off. I don't understand it.
iPhone XL,
and then
G. None of it makes fucking sense.
Why did they think I would give a fuck by the time 3 came out? And now there's so many of them.
Because it was a native boy on the cover? You didn't like it?
I will never play another Assassin's Creed unless it's like a hardcore reboot where it's like something we've never experienced and it's like
the new ones
it feels like
that way.
A new game because it's just the same fucking game for the last 15 years.
No, you're right. The early leaks on like the new stuff looks really good. One of them's kind of supposedly supposed to take place during like witch trials and be kind of horror-esque. I'm really excited for that one. The other one I can't remember if it's just like Aztec or whatnot, but the witch
though, it's
one,
not the setting because that's always
they're changing up mechanics too. But it's just like this is gonna be supposed to be a very very different like everything.
My thing will be we'll see how much they switch up the mechanics. If they switch it up enough, maybe. But from my experience,
I'm down for.
They always say they're changing the mechanics, and then it's pretty much like the same game.
Yeah, but at least
they're like we're improving the mechanics, and
that was a trick.
The only thing I thought was cool was the fact that I can't remember. It was one of the more recent ones where after that building in I think Rome burnt down.
Oh, the Notre. Yeah, it was Unity.
Yeah, the Notre Dame.
They used like the mapping from that in the game to rebuild it.
Yeah, and so I thought that was really cool because that just shows you that apparently their world was pretty accurate for that city.
That was one of my favorite games and one of the most hated.
Still, it's just the fact that it's the same every time. I just can't get past. And that's the curse of Ubisoft. It's the same with like Far Cry and any other game they have. It's just the same thing. They put out a new iteration of it every year, and it's basically the one you played last year. It's like playing fucking Madden. I've seen clips where people are playing 2023 Madden, and the banner in the background in the audience says like Madden 2019. It just didn't even update all the fucking assets and hadn't for like 3 years.
Me. I paid for this sign like 2 years ago. It's still perfectly good.
Wow. Out of all the things I thought we would talk about on this podcast, I never imagined we would be talking about Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft. But
Yeah, that's how my mind works.
that's, I mean, I get it, dude. It's the curse of the ADHDs.
You good?
You're supposed to drink it, not huff it.
Hey, man. No? Charlie huffing the spray paint, It's Always Sunny. Then he writes out some bangers.
Dayman! Master of the night, man!
I don't know how many
Keeper
times
of the sun!
I sang Troll Toll to people in class when they try to get by me.
You gotta pay a toll.
To get in that boy's hole.
They're like, oh wait, that doesn't sound good.
Oh, you're like, Charlie, like that's just about his uncle, 100%. Yeah. What did the before we close out? I assume that's where we're headed right now.
Yeah.
What did the pepper ask the archer?
What kind of pepper?
Bell pepper.
Shoot me. I don't want to live anymore. I can't handle this pepper life.
Do you have a habanero?
What?
Do you have a habanero? Habanero?
Do you have a habanero?
It just sounds like a fucking arrow, but it's the pepper, bro. What do you mean?
I'm just trying to understand the delivery of the punchline.
Sam, did you tell me the doorbell one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That cracked me up.
That one was good.
Oh, I forgot you guys were doing jokes on the podcast last week.
I didn't. I've been writing some down. Yeah.
All right. Well, you want 5 minutes of stage time? Make it an open mic.
I'll be
All
right
right. And the next.
And my
next
dry cleaner
performer-
tells me, he's like,
The
we
next
don't do it out
performer
here. What?
This is
Seinfeld?
the thing open mic hosts do. So say you're going in to do an open mic. It's
Yeah.
your first night at the open mic, and the announcer reads your name and brings you up.
Okay.
And now coming to the stage is my really good friend, Dylon Beak Hoofman.
Oh, Devin Cuckoo Clock? Okay.
And then they bring you up.
Oh.
They like pretend that you guys have known each other for like 20 years and then in the same sentence mispronounce your name.
Oh yeah, you got into stand up for a little bit. I forgot
Yeah,
about
I
that.
did open mics for a little bit, and that shit always fucking happened.
Yeah, I'll be your live audience.
And oh, by the way, you've already ate up, I think, about a minute of your stage time here since I introduced you, so you're bombing.
Boo! Tell a joke.
What was the Joker's joke? Didn't he just laugh? Did he get read like a medical diagnosis and he just started laughing? He would just start going through like his diagnosis and he'd laugh and people were like, I don't think he's okay.
What?
I didn't see that one. Tell a different joke.
Speaking of Joaquin Phoenix's brother, have you heard of him?
No.
Running?
What?
You know? Devin, you okay, buddy?
Don't look at me, bro. You're on. You gotta keep going. You got like fucking 3 minutes.
Eye contact, baby. What are you laughing about? I want to do this. Don't sign up for this. Shit.
I'm actually laughing pretty hard, so you're doing pretty good. You got like 2.5 minutes left.
I don't want to. I'm not doing this anymore. I will leave the call.
All right, so you're just getting off stage.
Yeah,
early.
I thought that's what I did before.
All right.
Oh, I don't want any part of this.
I did that a couple times.
I didn't have
finished
material.
my set early.
Damn.
Dude, you just said you had been writing down jokes.
I have one joke and I used it. I'm not around a lot of funny people.
So you should have been. You should have been like, I've been writing down joke.
Yeah, and I have been, but I only got one.
That's why I said joke.
Yeah, well, I already used it, so I gotta erase it.
You put an S plural. I figured you had at least 2.
It's parentheses S parentheses. You know, plural when needed, but not.
All right, we're gonna do this again next week.
No, we're not. We're gonna have some like disagreements amongst the band. We had creative differences.
Beck's no longer on the podcast.
I'm taking my logo with me.
I kept fucking forcing him to do open mics on Twitch.
It's like making Ryan do the fucking like hoedown showdown or whatever on whose line is it anyway.
Dude, I fucking loved Whose Line.
Oh, it's on HBO, like the OG, the good one. I've been watching.
Oh, is it?
It's on one of them.
I fucking miss that show.
Good.
All right. Well, any final thoughts, comments, concerns regarding Fistful of Dollars?
He didn't say the line.
He
oh
did
yeah,
not have a
you're
fistful
right.
Of dollars.
He never went. I am a fistful of dollars, and that disappointed me greatly.
You think he points out the good, the bad, and the ugly?
I was hoping.
He goes, there they are, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Said, look, I'm good, and you're bad, and you're ugly, and together we're the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then that's the end of the movie. The credits roll.
He had that smoldering look down before Brad Pitt ever did. That's...
How old do you think Brad Pitt was when this movie came out?
64? Not born? I don't know.
I don't know. When was he born?
Never thought this would be in my search history. Oh, December 18th, 1963. He was born slightly before. I think he just I'm not even going to try to whistle that. Never mind. But yeah. He's almost a Christmas baby. Bradgelina or whatever they are. Sam.
What?
You look at me just very disapprovingly sometimes, and it hurts.
Dude, he does the same thing to me.
Sometimes your words, man, they cut deep.
Oh, I think he's still in audience mode. He still thinks he's watching your stand-up.
Put me on the blue collar tour with Jeff
Damn, and I just stole your thunder, bro. I got the audience to laugh.
I like that mute comedian. I don't know if he's
sucks. Let's get out of here.
He types in his jokes on the phone.
Nah, dude, you should have started heckling him. That's one of my favorite things to watch is up and coming comedians handling hecklers.
Yeah.
Because they either are really good at it or they're just really fucking mean.
Oh, there's one. There's this guy had like a super thick like Asian accent, so he's like speaking in broken English. But he asked the crowd a question. He's like, "Are there any pedophiles here?"
I saw
like,
that one.
Oh, he's like, sex
I saw
offenders.
that
Yeah,
one.
and he was like,
Yeah.
so now like during the show, if anybody like heckles me or try something else, he's like, just know they're attacking me because they're sex offenders and I called them out, or if they're not laughing. And he made that joke, and somebody was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." He's like, "Oh, he's like, I was benching like 200 pounds." He's like, "Yeah, sure, buddy." He's like, "Oh, there's a sex offender." He's like, "I don't want to." It's good.
Yeah, that guy. I actually started following that guy like last week, and I've seen a few clips of him handling hecklers, and it's really funny. He was like, there was one where this one person in this group, he ended up getting kicked out. And then the guy like got up to leave and nobody followed him. And he's like, yeah, look at that. I am the leader now. I lead this group now. These are my friends now.
You lost. Well, I always imagine that. Like, what if you're the one who didn't drive? Wow.
Just waiting outside the
Yep.
venue.
You're like, what if you're like right at the beginning? You're like, there's like another hour and a half of this shit. Do I just call an Uber at this point?
I'm just gonna go hang out in Legoland till they kick me out.
Yeah, for heckling the Lego figures.
Now start heckling the workers there. You call that putting bricks away?
He's a brick packer.
All right. Well, I guess I think that's gonna do it for this one. This is definitely a shorter one. Like I said, it definitely was later, so I kind of anticipated this. Yeah. Anybody got anything else?
I don't think so.
No.
Your 5 minutes is up, bro.
Audience is still here.
All right, fine. We'll let him go for another minute.
No, I don't want it. I don't have a knock joke. I just like making you mad.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for this one. Next week, a little bit earlier next Tuesday, but same night, we're going to be doing a few dollars more. But until then, this is the Cowboy Moth Podcast. Let me pull up that beautiful graphic one more time here. Cowboy Moth Podcast with me, Devin.
Sam.
Back.
We are the Cowboy Moth Podcast, and we will be back next week.
3,
Until
2,
then.
1. Cowboy Moth.
Cowboy Moth. Yeah. Woo! Yeehaw.
Cowboy Moth.
Giddy up.
We'll get better at that as time goes on.
Well, we'll start popping off shots next time, like we're rallying.
But yeah, I guess on that note, yeehaw, where's the lamp? See you guys next time.